Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Today we have among with us Miss Devi D, who is a proud alumni of School of ECE. Along with her technical skills, she is also a creative writer, marketer, published author, and a recognized avid public speaker at Toastmasters International. She has been a finalist in District 41 Speech Evaluation Contest in India. Today, Devi is going to deliver a webinar on ultimate truth of life, finding happiness. In this talk, she'll be covering about what is happiness, reason for unhappiness, dissatisfaction in the world, tips for happiness, and the happiness practice. I welcome on behalf of School of ECE, Devi D. Over to Devi.
Thank you so much, Natraj sir, for that warm introduction. A warm good afternoon, everybody. I cordially welcome you all to this webinar on finding happiness. As Sar mentioned, I'm a proud alumni of REVA. I'm a writer, marketer, author, and it gives me immense pleasure to be back amongst Ravens and giving this important webinar on a very pertinent subject of finding happiness. So can I share the screen now, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. You can share.
So before I start off with the formal topics on the webinar, let me share a small story. Once upon a time, there was a crow who lived in a forest. The crow was very disappointed with her external appearance that she thought, I'm so ugly, nobody likes me. Look at the swan, it is white in color. People love to see her, admire her. Let me go to her and find out the reason for happiness. I'm sure that must be the reason for happiness. But she was surprised to see that when she asked the swan what is the reason for her happiness, she said, do you think I'm happy? I'm not happy. I just have one color white. But look at the parrot. The parrot has two colors. It has green color body, it has red color beak. I'm sure she must be the happiest person. Let's go to her and ask. So crow and swan went to the parrot. They were surprised to find that the parrot was not happy. The parrot said, I just have two colors. Look at the peacock in the zoo. It has multicolors. And look at the people who come to visit the peacock every day. They come, they admire her beauty, they click her pictures. Come, let's go to the peacock. All three of them went to the peacock. But they were in for another surprise. The peacock wasn't happy in spite of having different colors, in spite of having so many visitors. The peacock replied, you three are lucky. You three live freely in the forest. You can do whatever you want. Look at me, I am a caged bird. I'm not at all free. I wish I was free like you people. What do we learn from this story? Did you ever forget your blessings in life? Did you ever look for outer validation? And did you ever compare your life with others and forgot about your own blessings in life, forgot about your own happiness in life? That's a pertinent question we need to think. Do we have that happiness in our life, or are we just looking for external validation? See, in the course of this webinar, we will be finding answer to this exact question. What is happiness? And why there is a lot of unhappiness and dissatisfaction in the world. And I'll share some tips and tricks to be happy with whatever you have with yourself, whatever you have in life. And also, we will see a step-by-step schedule to bring in happiness in our life. So let's start off. What is happiness? Yeah, what is happiness? The author of the book, The How of Happiness, Sonia Lyubomirsky, defines happiness this way. It is the experience of joy, contentment, or positive well-being combined with a sense that one's life is good, meaningful, and worthwhile. Now the question arises, how do we get that joy, contentment, and feeling of positive well-being? How do we make our life good, meaningful, and worthwhile? Happiness means different things to different people. Some of them see happiness in money. If you ask a businessman or if you ask a person who is working on stock market, their life revolves around money. They set targets for making money. If they don't reach that limit, they become unhappy. But if they perform exceedingly well, they are over the moon, they feel very happy. But if you ask leaders or if you ask people in politics who cling on to power, they say that once we are elected, once we have that power to change, then we feel happy. Some of them feel happy that they're bringing difference to people's life. Some of them just like the perks being coming with the power and having the titles. So their life revolves around having the power to make a change in people's life. Now coming to some other people, for them assets means everything. Be it financial assets, be it assets in the form of house, in the form of gold. They look forward to it and they amass the wealth, and for them assets make them completely happy. For many others, family and friends is the sole reason for their existence, sole reason for their happiness. Just a big talk or a long conversation with their family and friends make them happy, keep them tension free. They don't bother much about amassing wealth or amassing money. Some others, charity makes them happy. You have seen philanthropists doing a lot of charitable events. For them, building schools, building institutions, running an NGO, that gives them eternal happiness. For some others, spirituality makes them happy. For them, finding the true meaning of life in the form of doing penance, and that makes them happy, and they don't look for material things. Whereas for many other people, living in the movement makes them happy. If you ask them what makes you happy, they say that I am just enjoying the moment. I am not worried about the past, neither am I worried about the future. I just live in the moment. Now the question arises, do we require all of these things that I mentioned to be happy, or do you require just some of these things? How exactly can one be happy? You must have, or all of us know the life of Lord Ram. Lord Ram had money. Lord Ram had assets. Lord Ram had title. And Lord Ram was a man of good character. He enjoyed every movement, even the moment he lived in the forest for 14 years, but he savored those moments. He never complained. So what does this show? We don't need everything in excess. We just need a balance of everything to be happy. Yes, we need money for our survival. We need some kind of recognition. We need a minimal assets. We of course need family and friends. We need to have set of spirituality within us. We need to live in the movement, and we need to also have charity. We need to have a balance of everything in life. Now coming to the next question, what are the reasons for unhappiness? When we know that these are the things that makes us happy, but why is the world unhappy? Why are we so bored of our life sometimes? Number one reason what I find is competition or the rat race. Let me explain more about this competition or rat race. In the present day world, be it a child, be it a working professional, you are made to set a goal and You are made to believe that yes, attaining the goal is happiness. Attaining that goal is everything. Once you've attained, you're successful, you're happy. But that's not the case. Why don't we feel successful and why don't we feel happy when you're on that journey towards achieving the goal? That enjoying the journey, overcoming the struggles, overcoming the tribulations, why can't that be called happiness? Why don't we take happiness from the journey? So we are not taught to believe in the journey. We are taught to just see the goal and the destination. And the competition, whatever we have, is a unconstructive competition. Most of the time it takes in the form of unconstructive competition. We are taught to beat the other person, challenge the other person. In doing so, we don't share knowledge. We try to be secretive. And we just want to beat them at any cost. Instead of that, why don't we go for a constructive competition by learning from each other? That will in turn make you happy. That will in turn bring long-term happiness. Second reason why we become unhappy is due to unconstructive comparison. What do you mean by unconstructive comparison? When you look up to somebody in life. For example, I am a great fan of Abdul Kalam. I see his life filled with humility, filled with hard work. But I do not try to emulate him completely. I take the learnings from him and I try to be a better person. Same qualities maybe I can take from my friend as well. In doing so, I admire my friend. I learn the qualities from good qualities from my friend, and I too try to enrich my life. That is constructive comparison. For unconstructive comparison, what you do is you compare yourself unfavorably with people. Suppose in the same situation, I look at my friend and I start believing that, oh, she's so intelligent. She has good amount of rich. She has good amount of wealth. I don't have any of this. I neither have wealth. I neither have intelligence. I am useless. That unconstructive comparison creeps in, and in turn you start feeling jealous as well. This creates stress, anxiety, and you end up feeling unhappy. Where you had an opportunity to learn and improve, you lost that opportunity to unconstructive comparison. So this has become again a norm in life, be it in school, you see teachers comparing students, you see in workplace, boss comparing the colleagues in an unconstructive manner. Instead of just focusing on the person himself and his own potential, there is unconstructive comparison happening. Next, the education system. Per se in India or many parts across the world, we have an unfair education system. As you see in this picture, the selection here is made on the same exam, irrespective of the caliber of the person. How can you expect a fish to climb a tree? The examination system that we have is monotonous. Is undoubtedly everybody will agree that it is rot learning that doesn't really focus on our creativity and innovation, though changes are taking place. Largely it's based on rote learning, largely it's based on unfair selection. Again, this brings in the belief in people that they do not have the potential to reach up to that greatness, to realize their full potential. Again, this creeps in unhappiness. This is a very, very important aspect in the present day world, the emotional intelligence. We see people lacking in emotional intelligence. What is emotional intelligence? So it's a term which was coined by Daniel Goleman, and this is the attribute of understanding your emotions, perceiving your emotions, as well as understanding the emotions of others and able to manage them. With emotional intelligence, you can have good interpersonal relationship, be it with your friends, be it with your family, be it with your co-workers. I'm sure if most of the people had emotional intelligence in this world, 99% of the world's problem wouldn't have existed. See, let me share a statistics with you. This is about executives in the workplace. The statistic shows that 60% are more likely to derail just because they have low EI, just because they are insensitive to others' needs, just because they are not able to understand their subordinates. Whereas 32% of executives, they are more effective at building interpersonal relationship because they have good emotional quotient. So there's a saying that your IQ, that is your intelligence quotient, will get you hired in a job. But for you to stay in that position and do your work and for you to get promoted in the long run, you need to have good amount of EQ, that is emotional quotient. This is a very common reason why people are unhappy in this world. That is, they are not living the movement. They are stuck between either past or they are thinking about their future. Let me illustrate. For example, you have had a bad incident in the past. Maybe you lost your job. Maybe you had an unrequited love. Or maybe you lost a family member, but you are still stuck in the past, still blaming destiny for your misfortune and you are not moving ahead. Or you are doing some work, you are pursuing some passion, but you are incessantly worried about the future, the result. You are not focused on the journey, you're worried about the result. You become anxious day and night thinking about the result. You don't get good sleep, you fall into that stress routine. Finally, you feel unhappy. So we have to learn to live in the moment. Here, another reason that brings forth is the lack of personal and professional life balance. This is lacking in youngsters, or this is lacking mostly in working professionals these days. See, this is a survey from monster.com that says that more than half of Indian professionals, working professionals, rate their current work-life balance as average to terrible. And how terrible is that? More than half, 50% of the populations do not have a good work-life balance. When you do not have a good work-life balance, it automatically disturbs your mental equilibrium and you tend to fall unhappy. You don't have a good support system at home or you don't have a good support system in office. You tend to fall unhappy. Now we have learned about what makes us unhappy. We have found the problem points. So these are the problem points. Now let's see some tips for eternal happiness. Some tips I myself have implemented in my life. I myself had to go through all these unhappiness and many times I found solution to these problems through reading books, through interacting with people who are proficient in neuro-linguistic programming that works on your brain cells, that works on changing your thinking. So I'm really privileged and glad to share my experiences so that you all can reap the benefit of eternal happiness. Number one, constructive comparison. As I mentioned before, comparison brings about a doom, especially unconstructive comparison. Why don't we go for constructive comparison? Instead of comparing our assets, comparing yourself with your neighbors, that this person has a car, this person he's very rich, this person has a 9-figure salary. Why don't we change our discussion points to what that person is good at, what skill that person is good at? Can I learn something from him? Can we have a mutual partnership and share knowledge? Appreciate that person, learn from that person, get to know that person and learn from this person. Learn from people who have achieved well in your social circle. Learn from people who give motivational talks. Have a constructive comparison and take the learnings. Let's avoid the unconstructive comparisons based on wealth and assets. Yes, you can take their journey, how they achieved the wealth and apply it in a constructive manner, but not just worry seeing their wealth that you are doomed, you cannot achieve it, take the learnings from them. Secondly, as I just mentioned, there is lack of emotional intelligence. Let's try to inculcate emotional intelligence in our life. And one book which has helped me a lot in enhancing my emotional intelligence was this one. Let me just bring it down on screen. Yes, How to Win Friends and Influence People was a landmark book written by Dale Carnegie, and it was written, I suppose, in 1940s or 50s it was released. And this book, trust me, has changed my life. This book is filled with case studies of clients dealt with by Dale Carnegie. He says that different people had a different challenge in life. He worked on with their thoughts, changed it, and they could see a positive influence in their life. One example I would like to share, which he has shared in the book, this is about a woman who keeps writing nasty letters to the head of the company saying that he's not doing a good job, he's not influential, and she kept on writing the letter week by week. If it was a normal person, that person would have replied back, screwing that lady. He would have also replied nastily. But what this person did, he replied a thanking note saying that I'm so thankful that you wrote to me. And I understand the importance of what you're saying. But this is the fact of the matter. He replied so politely, and next week he received a good congratulatory letter from that woman who was writing nastily for weeks together. See, the way you perceive people's emotion, the way you react to the people's emotion can cause a great difference, and it can even build long-term friendships. One's enemy can turn into a long-term friend. Second, thirdly, you need to practice gratitude in your life. What do you mean by gratitude? Be grateful for whatever you are having in our life. So what I could learn from this gratitude was, one is give back to the society. Whenever you get a chance, help somebody you know. Secondly, appreciate people. Don't ever lose a chance appreciating people, and appreciation is the simple way you can help people to improve upon. Be it one-to-one feedback with your employees or with your students, or even one feedback on social media. We see that Twitter, Facebook is a media platform. It's always filled with nasty comments, hate speeches. Why don't you make a change by going out there and appreciating your colleagues, appreciating your friends for their good work? You see somebody doing good work, don't ever hesitate to just put the comment, go on to the comment section and give them the right feedback. Help them to improve upon as well, and do appreciate them. I'm sure they will give back their 101% next time. If this time they have given 100%, next time they will give their 101%. And always be positive in life. Whenever you see something bad happening in your life, and whenever you see a misfortune in your life, don't lose hope. Think of those days when you had a good time. When you had a good time, it's a natural cycle that bad times come. Be positive that again the good will follow, and count your blessings. Keep checking back on your blessings. And with all this, you will definitely stop worrying with a positive attitude for giving back, appreciating people. Naturally, when you bring in the positive energy, the positive hormones get generated in your brain cells, and you will automatically stop worrying. You'll be really surprised to see the amount of energy engulfing you, the amount of energy you will have to give. You'll have to create a positive impact in people's life. Next, most important aspect to be happy is live in the moment, or live the movement, and slow down in life. Often we so much hurry up in life. We have to get up early morning. We have to brush soon. We have to cook soon. We have to run for office. We have to finish the lecture soon. We have to finish the exam soon. Everything is in a hurry. Why don't we just take a break, slow down, enjoy each and every bit of your life? And this crucial lesson I learned from this book called Ikigai. Ikigai is a Japanese secret to a long and happy life. And this book talks beautifully about how Japanese people tend to live for more than 80 years. And I'm telling you, honestly speaking, in the islands of Japan, people live for more than average lifespan is only 85 years. And the authors of the book went and did research in the islands and spoke to many people who have lived more than 80 years. And what they said was, we live happy because we live in the moment. We enjoy life. We laugh out loudly. We eat with full concentration. We enjoy food. We eat too moderately. And we enjoy life every day. We have a get together, community get together. We have bonding. We have no sort of enmity with anybody. We don't think too much. We don't think negative. Every aspect of your life, aspect of their life, you see, is conditioned around living in the movement. That is why they continue to be healthy, they continue to be happy. And I suggest everybody do read this book once in a lifetime, and you have a lot of takeaway message from the simple people of Japan. Next coming is to the enjoy the little things in life. When I jotted down the little things in life, this is what I could think of, and there could be many more to that list. Let me elaborate on these things, what I found are the most little things in life which we tend to ignore. Number one, cooking. For many of us, including me, cooking is a burden. Until this lockdown, even frankly speaking, I took cooking as a burden. I used to just do cooking just in a hurry. Never slow down to enjoy cooking from the time you select the spices to from the time you fry it on fire, from the time to savor it. But this lockdown has taught me that cooking is a wonderful art. Each and every step needs to be enhanced. In fact, cooking also acts as a therapy if you are so worn out, if your mood is off. Do learn to enjoy the simple art of cooking. Second, talking to your family can bring in lot of relief. It so naturally happens that we get so busy in our studies, so busy in our work life that we forget to make that one phone call to our father and mother and stop, and we just say that we are busy. We tend to hide behind that word of busy. Trust me, when you just speak to them for 10 minutes, that brings you so much joy, and this is one of the little thing in life you should never miss. Now we may not understand their value. When we don't have parents, then we will regret, shit, I ignored this little thing in life. So do find time for your family, no matter how busy you are, And here I've added it separately as well. Have a long conversation with your family member as well as your friend as well. One best friend can bring you out of depression. One best friend can change your life forever by giving some motivational talks. We all are aware of the suicide of Sushant Singh Rajput, and that brought forth the problem of mental health and why we are unhappy in spite of having wealth and in spite of having the basic amenities. So this brings us to a conclusion that we need to have trusted family members, we need to have friends. And thirdly, this is again a most ignored part of our life, cleaning chores. Why don't we take time and enjoy even the little chore of sweeping our house, little chore of cleaning our kitchen? little chore of cutting the vegetable. These small things will also make a lot of difference. This small thing also should be enjoyed upon. And most importantly, observe nature. If you have never observed nature, it's okay. Today, go out there. I know it's social distancing time, but if you have a balcony, if you have a window, just stand there, observe the tree next door. Imagine what tree is it. Observe minutely, carefully, observe the birds, observe the animals. Then you will know how beautiful the nature is. Never miss the nature. Then always, every day, find time for yourself. We indulge a lot in our studies, in our work life. We fail to give at least 5-10 minutes time for ourselves. Give time for yourself. Sit down, calmly meditate, think about what went well today, think about what could be done better, meditate, and just give time for yourself. And smiling often is a very little thing in life which doesn't require much effort at all. Smile often, smile as much as possible, smile at strangers, wave at strangers, and naturally when they return back this reaction, you feel overjoyed, you feel happy, filled with warmth. And also learn to enjoy the rain and laugh your heart out. These are the little things which doesn't cost even a single penny. So do try to follow these little things in life, and you can feel free to add more to this list as well. And next important thing to be happy is compete with yourself. Yes, I know the world is competitive, but you need to compete with businesses, you need to compete with other speakers, writers, or whatever profession you are in. Yes, that is shown in the foreground, but at the background, always make sure that the competition is within yourself. Whenever you plan for the day, you should try to be a better person of yourself the next day. Don't think that I should be better than this person, I should create more wealth than this person, I should create more personality than this person. No. If you keep such targets, I'm sure you're bound to fail. But if you keep a target that I should be better in this aspect where I'm lagging, maybe in public speaking, I can keep a target like my voice modulation is not good, I should work on voice modulation. Compare your speeches and see where you are. Have you improved upon your voice modulation in your next speech? And let that competition be with yourself, but take inspiration from others, see others' speech, learn from them, but be a better version of yourself every time. And this is again a common yet pertinent aspect to be happy. Meditation and exercise. When we are meditating and exercise, our mind is occupied in something. Our mind is calm and composed. That helps us to focus on our thoughts. That helps us to be calm and composed. You are not troubled by external thoughts. You are not troubled by worry or comparison. At least 10 minutes every day, try to meditate. Morning when you get up, I try to do twice in the morning and night before sleeping as well. Meditate, tell a small prayer, then sleep. You will see dramatic change even if you do for just 5 to 10 minutes. And for me, exercises like pranayam has helped. Exercises like Kapalbhati has helped. I'm sorry, meditation like pranayam and Kapalbhati and exercises like jogging has really helped me. When you jog, you tone your entire body, your muscles get weakened and you get a good sleep as well. Do try these techniques. Lastly, try to have meaningful friendships and relationships. We see social media, we see that there are a lot of people in the friends list, but how many people can you really relate upon? How many people can you really rely on when you're in trouble and you can call at night 2 or 3 a.m.? This is a friendship circle what you have. Your innermost friendship circle should constitute of just your family and dependable or close buddies or best friends whom you can speak your heart out. Keep them close, rely on them, tell your fears, tell your sorrows just to them. Only these people are really concerned about your life and their presence will make you really happy. And there will be friends, you know, maybe there are friends who are on social media. You might just know them, and there are few, there are just acquaintance whom you just know through your friends and whom you have met hardly one or two. But you can't trust them to share your innermost feelings. Maybe you can reach out to them, your friends. You know, you can reach out to them for help, but acquaintances, you cannot even reach out to help. Make sure your friend circle is close, friend circle is small and meaningful. Even social media, when you are making use of social media, make constructive use of social media. See people mindlessly scribbling through, just seeing feeds, not even appreciating, not even taking any action, just mindlessly scrolling through. Follow people whom you can learn from. Follow influencers. Follow people who have done something in life. People who will help you, motivate you. Follow those people and have a constructive discussion with them. Even if you're not able to share your innermost fear, you can learn from them. Make constructive use of social media. So the debate keeps coming up that whether social media should be banned. Once upon a time, even I used to think that yes, you should ban social media. But now I have realized that social media is a tool. How you use the tool matters. How well you mold it and use it matters. So make a constructive use of social media to build meaningful friendships and relationships. Now, once we have learned the tips for happiness, let's see how we can create a simple step-by-step schedule to create happiness in our life. How can we practice it? Number one is gratitude journal. So what is a gratitude journal? It's a diary where you pen down your thoughts and thoughts of gratitude. You feel blessed about something. You feel happy about something. Write it down every day. I feel happy to have a blessed family. I feel happy to have supportive friends. I feel happy to have the air that I breathe. I feel happy to have a roof under my head. I feel happy to be corona free. These simple affirmations will bring in a positive energy daily. Before you sleep or when you wake up, if you pen down these thoughts, it will create remarkable effect. And I myself have tried it and it has really lifted me out of sad situation, of depressing situations. And you can even pen down quotes in your gratitude journal which will give you motivation every day when you look into your diary. Secondly, power of giving. As we discussed, giving back to the society. But how exactly can we start giving? You may saying that I don't have money, I'm not rich enough. Doesn't matter. You have a family member, you can start teaching them. You have a maid in the house, you can start teaching her, or a small child, maid's child, you can start teaching her. Let me share an experience. I had a maid when I was staying in Karol Bagh, and she had a child who had never gone to school. She was of 7-8 years, and there's a belief that in some communities that women should not be educated. So what I did, that I handed over a book to her, and every day when the maid came, she brought the child with her. Now, I used to teach her Hindi alphabets, and over a span of 1 week, she learned the alphabet. She started grasping. So every one of us have that power to make small changes in the life of people around us. You just don't need to have any money, or you don't need to be very well off to make a change. Just go out there and start giving back. Thirdly, hobbies will make you happy. Hobbies will make your mind refreshing. Cultivate small hobbies. Starting with writing. Just scribble 2-3 lines every day. Motivational quotes every day. Gardening is a very good hobby that will take your mind off, and indirectly you're caring for plants. Thirdly, you can have stamp collection. That's a very good hobby. Baking is a hobby. You bake cakes, you sell it, you are getting appreciated for what you do. That's a good hobby. And these days, YouTubing is also a very good hobby. If you can share some good aspect of your life through hobbies, you get lot of positive feedback. That itself will make you happy. And always keep your mind engaged. When your mind is engaged and filled with positive hobby planning, you will never have time to be unhappy. Now plan for the day. When you're planning and when you are mindful of how you're utilizing the time, you'll never have time to be unhappy. What I do is every day when I get up, I make a learning or a goal for the day. And at the end of the day, I see if I have achieved all that, where I can improve. Once you have made that goal, distribute your time. That half an hour I have to devote for this goal, this learning. And when your mind is focused on that, you will be structured. And at the end of the day, you have a sense of achievement. You will feel that your day has not been wasted, and you feel happy and focused throughout the day. If you've never tried out, it's fine. Do try out today and you will see the difference. And negative thoughts. This is one of the stumbling blocks which makes us unhappy. Filter out these negative thoughts. Like as I mentioned, you have past thoughts, you have future anxieties. Whenever you are having these negative thoughts, sit down and meditate. Make it a habit. Morning when you get up, twice you meditate. Night before sleeping, meditate and then sleep. When you meditate in the morning, you set your mind to be receptive to new ideas and thoughts. You filter out all the negative thoughts. So filter out all the negative thoughts to make your life more meaningful and more happy. Now again, the last technique is make a schedule of exercise and meditation. I have already mentioned the meditation. Exercising, you don't have to go for strenuous exercise, gym exercise. Just find a park nearby and walk for just 30 minutes a day, and that will make all the difference. So if you're worried about social distancing, you can walk in your house itself, or if you have a balcony or if you have a terrace, you can keep a schedule of walking. If you have a partner, it's well and good. You can engage in constructive discussions and you can practice the schedule of exercise. So finally, we come to the end of the session. And we learned about the tips for happiness. We learned about the schedule of how to get happiness in your routine. What are the reasons for unhappiness? So I just hope that this webinar was helpful for all of you who have watched it, and hope you try to inculcate in your life and you try to see a positive change in your life. I just want to end by saying that happiness hides in life's small details. If you're not looking, it becomes invisible. So it's time to open that invisible light. It's time to look within you for that happiness. It's time to find that light, illuminate your life as well as illuminate the life of others. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much for being a patient listener. Over to you, Natraj sir.
Thank you, Devi. Thank you, Devi. It was a wonderful session. Hope all the attendees would have attained their way of getting into happiness mode. On behalf of School of ECE and the director Rajshekhar C. Biradar sir and assistant director Sudarshan sir, I wholeheartedly thank Devi for gracing this session and giving us a talk on happiness process. Thank you, Dilip. Thank you, Devi.
Thank you so much, sir. It was wonderful giving this webinar in front of Reva, alumni, Reva teachers, and it was wonderful to be back to that place where I started, and it was a wonderful feeling, sir. It was a wonderful and heartfelt thanks from my part as well for inviting me over, and I felt glad sharing my life experiences and sharing the tips and tricks. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Devi. Thank you, Devi.
Thank
See you soon in the
Thank
next
you.
session. Thank you. Bye.